Welcome back to the 1948. Let's see, it's 1 year later. It's the 7th annual One-Shot Derby. I'm Scoot McGarry. Thank you for joining me in the moment of silence for my son and father who died in different great wars.
It's your son and your father?
It's Jeremy Sr. and Jeremy Jr.
I really appreciate the lore.
They died in one, the Great War, then the Great War II, Electric Boogaloo.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut either you or Julia off, Eric, but this is a moment of silence, so if we could just respect that.
No, we just came back from the moment of silence.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Sparky Soda. Sparky, it gets in your blood because of the electrolytes. Now we're now in the third car here of the One-Shot Derby. The first was a Victorian child who coughed a lot. The second was Out of the Ice, and the Coen brothers were there. But the third is spooky and reality show based. We'll see how this goes for us, because I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to win.
We barely have televisions, but we know all about them.
If only your dad and son had felt that way during the World War I and II, they would still be here.
It would be much more convenient to know about the future of war versus the future of television, but we don't choose our burdens.
Brandon, how are men supposed to bond unless going to war and hanging out together?
How is England supposed to produce poetry if it doesn't send consumptive men to colonies to fight wars?
I need to drive around in an ambulance so that I can be Hemingway later.
Or Queen Elizabeth.
That's true. Is this a game we're starting, Hemingway or Queen Elizabeth?
Oh my God.
Listen, that sounds pretty good.
That's pretty good.
I like
That's
it.
pretty
Someone
good.
write it down.
Neither of them liked saying any more than the minimum.
Their friends died, or their people around them died early, and they didn't know what to do about it, so they retreated into themselves.
Yeah,
Same.
For sale, 1 crown never used.
That's
Which was
pretty
the
good,
Hemingway and the
Brandon.
Queen.
It's pretty good.
Brandon, that's good.
Yeah. Now, was it Hemingway or Queen Elizabeth who talked a lot about F. Scott Fitzgerald's Johnson? I can't remember.
It was the Queen.
Was it Hemingway or the Queen who said, "What are they doing down there in Cuba? Meh, not my problem."
It was both. That's a good one.
This is some highbrow humor, guys.
Yeah, you're right. Highbrow stuff. You had to have taken at least one course on books in college to understand these jokes, or at least watch The Croon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'll do.
that's fine. All right, we are here on our third shot of the One-Shot Derby. We are playing Inspectres, which is a 2002 tabletop RPG.
Wow.
Post 9/11 tabletop RPG. Can I X-card myself now? All right.
Homeland Security, Inspectors, and were
The
we still
Freedom of
doing
Information Act.
Yeah.
Were we still doing the purple see-through electronics, or was that?
Probably.
Yeah, it was
that
the
died
end.
out.
of
Atomic
little.
purple, yeah.
Yeah. The iPod, the first generation iPod. Inspectres is a humorous, paranormal, investigation-themed role-playing game created by Jared Sorensen and independently published by Memento Mori Theatrics, which is spelled with a CK, which is very funny.
Oh.
The game storyline follows the player's work in an supernatural investigation and elimination company. That is from Wikipedia. I just thought it was really fun to read the Wikipedia summary.
Nice.
But yeah, Inspectres is fun. Amanda, Julie, and I have played this before. I heard it on a Patreon feed episode of Friends at the Table. Interested in it. It's very straightforward. Again, the reason why we're saying it's old is like there was less consideration into what games do, how games do, as we've seen in some games that are being worked on now, and one-pagers really are kind of get into like, I don't know, like the storytelling elements of tabletop RPGs instead of just like a thing you do in your basement with some pizza and some friends.
Yeah, we're in a real renaissance era of RPGs designed to make narrative, which I think is pretty dope.
Yeah.
More like Renaissance playing games.
Nice.
Botticelli
was just like, I'm a fighter.
I think that the Renaissance artists would find current sort of like dice creation, art extremely metal. They would love it.
They'd be like, this intense version of glassware that you're making.
Yeah.
I wish I could blow the glass like that.
Nothing more Baroque than a glitter die.
Needs
That's
more
true.
nude people on it. Put more nudes.
We do need more butts and dice. Not dice and butts. It's a
Googling
different thing.
butt dice real quick. See.
No, Julia.
So just to underline the 2002-ness of what we're getting into, I would love to just read the about that was written in the actual game.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh no, Julia found butt dice.
I don't want to talk about it.
Inspectres is a fast, simple, and fun game that mixes horror and comedy in a world of startup culture and supernatural fright fests. The setting is loosely defined, allowing you the freedom to fill in the blanks however you see fit. The mechanics are designed with player control in mind. Remember, 2002, fucking mind-blowing, as well as a few bells and whistles to turn the whole player-GM relationship on its head.
Tight.
Again,
We love it.
we are wading into the wildness of it being a collaborative process between the two.
I also love the idea that it's about startup culture because, like, I think we had two distinct waves of startup culture, and this
We
is
did.
on the tail end of the internet bubble.
Yeah, it's like you have to have a .com in your company name.
Yeah.
We're pets.com, but also Ghostbusters. They also have a paragraph about inspirations here. Inspectres is loosely based on the films Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2, which frankly wasn't great. That's in there. That's in there. They did not like Ghostbusters 2.
bold
People couldn't
move.
tweet, Eric. They had to self-publish RPGs to share their opinions.
At least they didn't have an opinion on the future all-women Ghostbusters cast, you know?
I'm
No.
sure they do, but it's not in this publication.
Knows that. And reality TV shows, which was in quotes, like it was a new thing.
Oh, shit.
Like Cops and the Real World. That's what we're pulling from. There is a really interesting mechanic in Inspectres that you can go and do like a interview with a camera to get a bonus or to pull the narrative in the way that you want, which
That's
is really
so funny.
My mind is blown. This is being published like 18 months after the first episode of Survivor and germane to a recent party planning episode about a year after Mulder departed the X-Files. So there's just a lot happening for this person and their interests in the year 2001.
They were upset.
They were upset.
They were like, it's not the X-Files without Mulder.
Also, I do have to inform you guys that ghosts.com does go to the aviation photography of Philip McKenna, just the guy's website about his photos of planes.
I bet he gets a shit ton of hits.
Yeah.
He spent him a lot of money on that.
Good for ghosts.com. Just to introduce the game a little bit more, the design notes go into the fact that, like, although you're solving a mystery, it's very loose. It actually has it seems to be some sort of progenitor to Monster of the Week, where, like, you all come up with clues and try to run down the clues, and it's kind of mushy. You know, like, I don't necessarily need to have the pre-built track here. It's about you investigating the thing, and depending on what your roles are, we figure out one way or another, which is pretty cool. What this game does is allow the GM to set up events, but then have the players, through their characters, decide what is really going on. The GM then reacts to the players and what they see as intriguing or exciting elements of the story. Again, pretty radical in 2002.
100%.
Yeah. So if we end up playing this game, one of us is going to be the GM. It doesn't necessarily have to be me. So we're all going to create characters because there's a pretty defined character creation section here. And then after that, we're going to create the company, the ghost-busting company that we're all working for.
Whee!
The Ghostmaster, Eric? Is that what it's called?
Ooh.
Brandon, hold on. Can you just give me a second? I'm going to look into the game thing, see what it says. Yeah, it's Ghostmaster.
Yes!
Nice.
Yeah, you got it in one. I think the thing that's interesting here is that we're playing a modern world. If we want to play 80s, we could, but it is supposed to be like, I don't know, necessarily like people in this world dealing with ghost busting and the, I don't know, slipstream fiction, magical realism of real world plus one weird thing. And the weird thing is the ghosts and the monsters and all that stuff.
Yeah. I like a modern setting for this, for sure.
I think unfortunately, it has to be 2002 modern.
No, we simply can't do that.
They get into technology, which is interesting.
Yes. Inspectres talks about limiting technology, so you're not just pulling weird shit out of nowhere. So they have some suggested limits, which we can say right now. There's ultra tech, which means like you are the Men in Black and you have everything that you need. You can have experimental / fringe, which is Ghostbusters tech, which is like you rigged something that may or may not work and is prone to exploding. Standard is anything that you can buy in the 21st century. So obviously this was written in 2002, but they do say 21st century. Their examples were laptop computers, mobile phones, submachine guns, laser pointers, deep sea diving gear, etc.
I feel
Dear
so young yet
Christ.
so old listening to you describe these things.
This is before the iPhone.
Yeah.
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 It's amazing.
It's like you can have a sidekick if you want one. And then, of course, simple, primitive, you can have like real classic Van Helsing style monster hunting gear. So I feel like I like experimental fringe.
Yeah, that's the vibe
And
I
you
was getting.
layer that on top of the standard stuff, but it might be hard to, buy a submachine gun, but maybe you'll have one. I don't know. Maybe we can say that like 3D printing's off the table. But it depends, I guess, if we have one or you want to have one at the franchise.
Or if we know someone who has one.
Yeah.
Or if the local library is well funded and they have a 3D printer.
Who can say? Well, we'll definitely come up with our setting as we figure that out if there is a well-sourced local library nearby.
Or maybe it's a 4D printer and we print time.
Ooh.
Brandon, that might be a little too much. I don't know.
That's
I played the game
fringe
before,
technology.
just from my experience. I don't know.
Okay. Well, it's a good thing I'm GMing Eric.
Oh, you're the ghost master?
Yeah.
All right, y'all, let's get started. Let's do some character creation. To make this more even with the other games that we've played, we have not prepped this ahead of time, but you can prep this ahead of time. This is more of like a classic character creator. You bring your characters to the session. But we're going to do this on the fly, and maybe some folks have just put it in their brains but didn't like write out the character creation. So the first things first is that everyone comes up with a name and basic personality for your character. This also helps if you come up with a former occupation as well before they were working for the ghostbusting company.
First idea, best idea, guys. My character's name is Amelia Ashes, and
Great.
I am a soccer mom, empty nester, who is ready to beat down some ghosts because I have no more PTA parents to win fights against.
Yeah, dude. There it is.
My name is Angela. I have 3 boys. They're playing professional lacrosse. They're going to go to Yale, Princeton, and Brown.
Hell yeah.
Why
They're
are
already
you
there.
laughing?
They're already there.
Why are you laughing?
We're not. Are
Oh,
you
my
I'm proud of my
God.
accomplishments.
Are you Angela's Ashes, like the hit book for moms?
My name is Amelia.
Amelia Ashes. You said-
Amelia Ashes.
Okay,
You did
Amelia
say
Ashes.
Angela, to be fair.
That's what I was
love it.
wondering
love
because
it.
that's some good mom shit in there as well.
I had to change my name after the book was published. What, you gonna make a whole big thing about it? Gonna make a whole big thing about it? Half of Staten Island still calls me Angela. Is that not enough? Anyway, that's my character.
Cool. All right. Wonderful.
Holy
so,
shit. Okay.
So on the character, you can write this down like wherever, but there are some like character sheets that are out there. I'll link to them in the episode description. So Amanda has her name, Amelia Ashes, and your background would be former
Soccer mom.
soccer mom.
Yes.
Great. That is important because that will shape some things we're going to do later that are mechanical. But that does not have any mechanical benefit until later. But
Great.
good. But it's important to write down.
We all need a hobby. Keep me busy.
My name is Claire McLeod, and I'm a former production assistant for the Bachelor franchise.
Hell yeah.
And I was fired because I kind of pointed out how unethical it was to create drama between these people who really do want to find love. And after I was fired, I couldn't afford to live in Los Angeles anymore, so I moved back to my hometown, and I really couldn't find a job. So I contacted my Aunt Amelia Ashes, and she got me a job with the agency.
Nice.
Family helps family.
I hope that's okay, Amanda.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
that fine? Okay,
100%.
great.
100%.
Sorry, what was your first name, Julia?
Claire McLeod.
Claire.
Her father's Irish. We don't hold it against her.
Shout out to Claire.
No one had dated an Irishman before this.
Told that we want her.
When your sister loves a man, you back her for life.
Nobody asked me.
Holy shit.
Hey, what's up? My name's Ben Reeves, but you can just call me Beeves. That's what everyone calls me. It's a combination of my first and last name, Beeves. I used to work at Circuit Mart before this, but they did not like that I put my butt on all of the camera equipment. So
Why'd you do that?
you got to live out loud, bro.
Gotta live out loud, bro.
May that be your slogan.
Yeah, got to live out loud.
Thank you.
Gotta live out loud. Put on your character sheet.
Gotta
Gotta
live
live
out
out
loud,
bro.
So really glad I get to ghost bust. Thought it was neat. Love Luigi's mansion.
Is that your friend?
My rich friend Luigi with a mansion. Yeah.
Must be nice.
No. So yeah, I'm Beeves. Beeves? Do we like the S? No S?
I think it's Beeves with a Z at the end.
It could be Beeves with it. Yeah, it was 2002. If it's 2002, then it's
Not
Beeves with a Z
2002.
in
The
it.
Bachelor franchise just existed.
That's fine. It's fine. No, it's
2006.
not 2002. I'm joking.
That's
yeah,
our
it's Beeves.
aesthetic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Beeves.
Incredible.
Hello, my name is Gray Dixon. I'm a former circus performer acrobat. The circus is now closed because of the elephant right situation, but that's
Oh,
fine.
no.
I coincidentally also live in LA now. But who knows how long I can afford it there. So, that's what I did. That's what I do. I'm glad to have this new job. I'm excited to get started. Hopefully my, flying acrobat skills will have some relevance to ghosts. I hear they can float. So, it'll be great.
That's important because elephants never forget. So they'll remember that you stood up for them at the gates of hell.
Well,
As we all know, there's an elephant at the gate of hell that tells you whether you can go to heaven or go to hell. So
Yeah, I mean, there's the elephant devil, there's the bird devil, there's the
Oh.
human devil. It's like none of you went to church.
Beeves, what religion are you?
Just gotta live out loud, man.
Oh,
The moment.
sure.
make sure I write down "gotta live out loud," bro.
My religion is the moment, the church of the moment.
It's very good.
Also Presbyterian.
I was going to say that's the Catholic Church on the other side of town.
The
Her Lady of
church the
Perpetual
moment.
Moments.
I was genuinely thinking about doing a former preacher, so I'm glad that you I didn't.
Gray, do you still have all your little tights and things? You're going to be wearing those at work?
Why do you ask? I guess is a better question.
I'm more just curious about the dress code.
And Amelia, I think this might count as sexual harassment. I just want to preempt this before it goes further.
Oh, God, just like the PTA. Fine. I'll sit over here.
Also, I want to retract all my statements. We can take place in 2002. The Bachelor premiered in March 25th, 2002.
Good.
What a foment of culture.
We'll make it squishy. We'll make it squishy like we did with the campaign.
Great,
Anytime after 9/11 is fine.
Yeah, this is a post 9/11 campaign.
Yeah.
Pre-iPhone, post 9/11.
Exactly.
That's fine. I'll allow it.
No, it's funny. Wonderful. Okay. Also, there's nothing funnier to me, Brandon. What was his name? What was your character's
Gray
name?
Dixon.
Gray
'cause it's
Dixon.
Dick
Come
Grayson.
on.
Oh, Gray Dixon, of course. That he has an apartment in LA he's still paying for, but is somewhere else as well. Is in this town.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know where we are, but
Yeah.
Oh,
the certain.
I specifically said in mind that I had to move back from LA to my hometown.
I mean, we could live in Pasadena or somewhere fairly close, which is very funny.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, the circus definitely was headquartered in LA, and then it fell
Nice.
apart. So I
Naturally.
landed in LA, but this is the only job I could get. So recent transplant to Nowheresville, Iowa, or wherever the fuck we are.
Yeah.
Sure.
Love it.
I thought the circus dropped you off here. Guys, the elephants, they destroyed all of our wagons. So figure out
We're
your
done.
own, the Greyhound buses that way.
I do just want to point out that pre-iPhone, post 9/11 does make the initialism Pipney. So do with that what you will.
Well, now it's solidified. It's set in
Amanda
stone.
just invented a genre. It's going to show up on Tumblr and AO3 immediately. Oh my God.
Pipney fashion, the next on TikTok.
Incredible.
Perfect. All right, wonderful. So we all have our folks, we all have our names and backgrounds. So we're going to go to the next step, which is our agent skills. There are 4 basic skills in Inspectres. There's academics, which academics is the skill you'll use when researching information, coming up with theories, remembering facts and figures, and both identifying and solving problems. There's athletics. If academics represents your character's brains, brawn is measured by athletics. Anything physical is covered by athletics. Firing weapons is also covered by this skill.
Nice.
Okay.
There's technology. The exception to the rule about firearms is that if it's a whacked out scientific device that is in the text. In this case, you'll use the third skill, technology, which is used to operate, repair, or build equipment. Technology is also used whenever you want to buy or have access to equipment, anything from a computer to a shark cage. And finally, the fourth is contact. Contact is your character's ability to talk to people, normal people. Potential clients, anxious investors, bored housewives, litigious lawyers, nosy reporters, irate police officers, annoying kids, and obsequious politicians. It also represents your character's list of contacts, which is important. So we all have 9 skill dice that we're going to assign to each character's skills. Just so everyone knows, the way that you roll for stuff in Inspectres is that you have a certain number of dice, you roll them, and then you choose the highest number, which corresponds to like the skill roll table. 1 is terrible. The GM treats it as a terrible mishap. 2 is bad. The GM decides the outcome, but the player can suggest negative effects. 3 is not great. GM describes failure, but player adds minor positive effect. 4 is fair. Player describes mostly successful, but humorous or bad effect as well. 5 is good, where the player describes the result. And 6 is amazing, which you get to describe the result as well. So the players have quite a lot of time to describe what goes on.
Nice.
Right on.
Love it.
I feel like playing Monster of the Week has really helped my brain understand RPG mechanics. That would have confused me before we did a
Yeah, that's
campaign.
fair.
Absolutely. So we're going to keep that stuff in mind. So let's assign our dice to various places.
I have mine ready to go if you want me to share mine.
Please. The only thing to remember, Gulia, is that you cannot go over 4 dice in... You have to assign at least 1 dice to each skill, and you cannot go above 4 dice.
Gotcha. So for Claire McLeod, I am going to give her a 3 in academics because I feel like she is very much a researcher and problem solver because she comes from this kind of Hollywood production background, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give her a 1 in athletics because I don't think she has a lot of time to go to the gym because of her job.
Yeah.
I'm going to give her a 2 in technology because I think that she is probably like fairly proficient with the technology that she's familiar with and can figure out stuff, but is not necessarily an expert in that regard. And then I'm going to give her a 3 in contact because she is very good at schmoozing, being a person from Hollywood.
Love it.
Hell yeah.
Amelia is going to have the most dice. We're going to do 4 in contact because having a network, talking to people, schmoozing, making enemies and dealing with those enemies is her main skill. We're going to do 2 each in technology and athletics. I think she's really good at driving and also raising 3 teenage boys, knowing about their Xboxes and their PlayStations and their SNESs and all of this bullshit and figuring out what's porn and what's games.
If I can give you a suggestion, Amanda, my mom called any game system the crap box, so you can have that one.
Put down the crap box and do your math. You're never going to get into Yale like that.
Yeah, Mom, I can do it because I'm great at lacrosse. Fuck.
Thank you so much, Eric. Taken. And then my remaining 1 is in academics because hers is a practical skill set and not necessarily academics.
I also really like the idea that she is fairly good in athletics because she raised 3 rowdy boys.
Oh, yeah. Lacrosse players, Julia.
Yeah.
You won't believe the number of broken windows she avoided.
I think this one's going to be pretty obvious for Gray Dixon here, but athletics 4, obviously. And I don't think he has much skills in the other ones, unfortunately. But I think contact is going to be my second one with 3 because of his circus contacts. Lots of people with weird skills.
Mm-hmm.
And he has met lots of people, so he knows how to talk to people. And then I think both a 1 in academics and tech because I don't think I probably graduated high school, probably was homeschooled. And, unless you count ropes and pulleys and, that kind of tech, then the tech is 1 as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Checks out.
That's fair. Okay, I'm going to do me. I want to balance everything. I guess I want to balance everything. I also want to say that Beeves, I've changed the place where he used to work. It is now called Sprockets and Stuff.
Oh, Eric. That is better than Circuit Mart. but I thought you couldn't top Circuit Mart, so that's really good.
You said sprockets and my brain filled the rest in. It was in my head, sprockets and sproings. And I know sproings isn't a word, but it's a fun automatopoeia sound, so.
No, I'm changing it to sprockets and sproings. Julia nailed it.
Now,
Thanks, bud.
Can I also yes and this was definitely the time where we had like things like Toys R Us and whatever. Can it be Sprockets are Sproings?
Brandon, it's called Sprockets Are Sproings. You nailed it.
You could also save the R for whatever our franchise business name is.
Well, that one we needed .com on it. So
Yes, yes.
we already have that. Okay.
Listen, in my head, we're ghost.com, but I'm open to collaboration here.
No, I do like ghost.com.
That's why you Googled that earlier to make sure it wasn't porn. I see you now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Ben Reeves is really min-maxed.
Yeah.
So I think that I'm min-maxed in technology 4, academics 3, athletics 1, contacts 1.
Nice.
So that although Beeves is a affable fella, from just living in the moment, I don't think it works for him well at all. And although on the opposite of Claire, although he might be like, I don't know, regular man height, regular man body, just it's all pudding in there. There's just absolutely no muscle mass at all to speak of.
Love that for you.
Did Beeves just bring like a what is the name of the pudding cups to work every day for lunch?
Snack packs.
Snack packs.
Yeah, absolutely. Like never eaten a vegetable before, although it doesn't show. Maybe it doesn't show as much outwardly. I'm sure that he has a little belly poking out of his large graphic tee that he got from bustedtees.com. Like there's no ability to move his body in any sort of way. Like no acrobatics nor athletics, if you know what I'm saying.
Got you.
Now, how many times did he get scammed while ordering online in 2002 before he actually got the tea?
Well, Brandon, here's the thing. 0, because he has a 4 in technology.
Yeah. He can see a scam a mile away.
You basically had to be a hacker to use the internet in 2002.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah. And he basically used it just to play like 2003 Flash games, but he really knew how to do it. He knows what to do at a terminal that just has the green stuff, because he worked at Sprockets and Sproings and he needed to know that. They had a really in-depth like intranet system that was because the person who created Sprockets and Sproings was like one of the people who was at like the NSA or NASA or the CIA who had the internet before everyone else in the 70s.
Okay, now I'm imagining that perhaps Circuit Mart had a rebrand as Sprockets and Stuff, then Sprockets and Sproings, then Sprockets are Sproings, as like increasing sort of corporate entities to avoid bankruptcy or insider trading allegations. And so it makes complete sense why you had to leave, where they're like, we're going to have to fire you, but you're going to be laid off soon afterward.
I like that a lot. I feel like that's like the joke from 30 Rock, how NBC's like entertainment is owned by GE, but above that it's owned by a wig company.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do have a 3 in academics because I'm good at researching by using computers. I don't know a lot of things, but I certainly know where to find them out. And
That's
I think
a good skill.
that's where it comes from academics.
Now, is Beeves' favorite website that he plays Flash games on called Old Skies?
Yes, Brandon. Yes, it is.
There you go.
I got you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, I got the joke. It took me a second.
Yeah, there it is.
I was like, new what? Newgrounds. Got it.
Everyone who is our listener is not going to get even the Newgrounds reference, so my joke is not going to work.
Starting with moi.
Brandon, it's also fine. I wanted to say there's a bunch of games about beating up Osama bin Laden, but that's not making it to the cut either. On to the next step, but first, the mid-roll.
Hey, it's Amanda. Remember in the kayfabe of the mid-roll how I was packing last time? Now, Eric and I are in Seattle. Actually, as you listen to this, we are staying with Brandon and the coffee ghost, Lauren, at their house, and also seeing some babies, a friend of the show, Jeff, and his new babies over in Portland. So we are very stoked to be here and to be seeing everybody. But that also means that I'm recording this in advance, so we will thank all of our new patrons next week. But in the meantime, did you know you can get a discount when you sign up for an annual pledge over on Patreon. If you want to get your name in the queue for Eric to say thank you to next week, sign up for Patreon now. Makes a great start to your new year and ours over at patreon.com/jointhepartypod. This week at Multitude, we would love if you checked out Queer Movie Podcast. This is a queer movie watch party hosted by Rowan Ellis and Jazza John. Join them as they research and rate their way through the queer film canon one genre at a time, and they are often doing movies that you might be hearing about on social media, like out in the culture. They are talking about stuff that is relevant and now for queer folks, and I love that I can watch a movie or see the discourse and then check in to see what Rowan and Jazza's take is. From rom-coms to slashers, contemporary art house cinema to black and white classics, they're a celebration of all things queer on the silver screen. So search for Queer Movie Podcast in your podcast app now. They have new episodes every other Thursday. We are sponsored once more by Battling Blades. They design and sell high-quality swords, axes, machetes, and knives, striving to design and create products with the highest quality metals, bone, wood, and leather. And I gotta tell you, I am using my Mezzaluna, my pizza cutter. I used it on just bread. I used it on a piece of salami. I used it on an apple. I am so excited to fully feel like a, some kind of warrior or maybe D&D character, RPG character, while just cutting my, everyday stuff. It is a true pleasure. And Eric has been brandishing his axe to make a point from time to time. It's incredible. I know Julia's been enjoying her sword and Brandon his pizza cutter as well. But Battling Blades makes much more than axes and swords. They also have armor, shields, knives, helmets, all kinds of stuff to help you get into character or decorate your walls or just feel like a badass. For 20% off your Battling Blades order, go to battlingblades.com and enter code JOINTHEPARTY at checkout. Once again, for 20% off your Battling Blades order, go to battlingblades.com and enter code JOINTHEPARTY at checkout. And thank you once more for sponsoring the show. We are also sponsored today by Brilliant. So, okay, come on this journey with me. Let's say you're a new ghost hunter and you really want to impress your bosses because you can't afford to lose this job, not after what you said on the set of The Bachelor. So you go to brilliant.org, the best way to learn math, science, and computer science interactively. They have thousands of lessons with new ones added each month. And for example, again, here in the fiction, in the example, you can learn about quantum objects, which sounds made up, but is real. It's actually a lesson in the science learning path on Brilliant and not just a thing that you say in ghost hunting businesses. And if you took it, you could be a person who knows what the word quantum actually means. That would definitely impress your bosses and help you keep your new job. So to get started for free, visit brilliant.org/join-the-party or click the link in the description. The first 200 of you will get 20% off Brilliant's annual premium subscription at brilliant.org/join-the-party. Finally, the show is sponsored by BetterHelp, and I need help to keep my mental health functioning. It's a thing that I wish I'd heard more when I was younger, and a thing I have to remind myself from time to time, to be honest. I need to make sure that I am checking in with myself and treating myself well and keeping my body feeling good. And one of the things I do to keep my mind right is I have therapy every week where I talk about stuff I'm worried about, what's going on with me, getting help and outside perspective on the issues and challenges in my life, and just having a sounding board to help me make sure that I am taking care of myself and showing up in my other relationships the way I want to. And for a long time, I could not find a therapist near me, even though I live in New York City, that took my insurance, was accepting new patients, and could see people at a time of day that I was able to see them. Not to mention wasn't like 2 hours away by train. So I used BetterHelp. They're convenient, flexible, affordable, and entirely online. So if, like me, you have run into trouble finding therapy near you, give BetterHelp a try. If you want to live a more empowered life, therapy can help get you there. Visit betterhelp.com/join-the-party today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/join-the-party. And now, back to the Derby.
So now that we have this, we're going to go right to our talents, which our talent is something that you get to assign to yourself that will give you a +1 die to using it. Use something that's kind of a jumping off point of your background. Here are some examples: computers, car mechanic, football player, Star Trek geek, Don Juan, ninja training, librarian, botany.
Can I go ahead and make my talent schmoozer?
Yeah.
I like that.
Love it.
Schmooze.
I think mine should be driving. I think that getting three boys to lacrosse practice when they're perhaps unbelted and I can dodge through traffic would be very helpful.
Now, actually, I'm going to push back on both of you
really?
because
Okay.
I want you to open it up a little bit more, that you can apply this to various things if the GM allows you to. So I feel like you might be humming yourself in because, again, Julia, Claire has already expressed this with high contact, and Amelia has already expressed this with the driving athletics stuff, right? So make sure to broaden it out a little bit more so you can apply it to more things.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
How about, can mine be like spidey senses, like mom's spidey senses? Like mom has like eyes in the back of her head and can like catch a sippy cup that's going off the counter, or is that too broad?
No, I think that's fine. I think mom senses is good.
Can mine be, quote, I lived in LA?
Yeah, that's good.
Incredible!
There are where bad tacos are everywhere.
Or it's just like, in my mind, it was like, I have had experience outside of this small town and I'm very like worldly because of it.
Yeah, no, that's good.
That's
I like that.
incredible.
I like that.
And it's just a lot of like me name dropping celebrities when I'm telling stories or trying to convince people of stuff.
Yeah, no, I think that's good.
Yeah, or like that watch is too expensive for that man. How do you know that? I lived in LA.
Perfect.
Some of these can also be very straightforward. Like, Brandon, if you just want to be like circus performer, I think that works.
Well, I already have a 4 in athletics, so like I think.
Right, but you wouldn't say acrobat, but circus can apply to any of your stuff if it's circus-based.
Gotcha.
So you're going to say circus performer if you want to.
Well, I was gonna say like fearless naivete. I don't know how to say that well, because I was homeschooled, and anyone who's ever known anyone who's homeschooled, they just have no fear and are always optimistic about everything.
Sure. No, I like that.
Has never been bullied.
I've never been bullied. Yeah, exactly.
Aw, must be nice.
Oh, Gray.
You got to be bullied a little bit so you know what bullying is.
Guys, it's really important that we never tell Gray that his last name might need to lead to some rude nicknames. Okay?
Just don't,
Let's hope I never meet your
say
kids.
the word dick around him.
Protect him.
Yeah.
Yes. Cover his ears like a little infant.
Yeah.
I'm going to say for mine, Julia, you really inspired me. I'm going to say retail for mine.
Yay!
My skill is I was a retail worker, so I know how things work in retail experiences, dealing with irate customers. I think maybe I can get a bonus to that. So
Hell yeah.
I'll do retail worker for that.
Incredible.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah, dude. All right, wonderful. Well, we just did our character creation, which is awesome.
Woo!
But now, much like in Sex and the City, where New York was a character, and in Entourage, where vomiting and being an asshole was a character, we have to create our franchise, which is another character in this story.
I appreciate the through line here that the creator of Entourage is from Merrick. I'm just gonna keep sitting in that.
All right, so we can figure this out in a bunch of different ways, but they basically give you a lot of questions that you kind of just come up with at your table. So I'm going to read all of them, and then maybe we'll just bounce around and see what we figure out. I don't know if we've ever done this before on this podcast, so this might be hard for us. Okay, so remember, we're coming up with like a franchise. They highlight this a lot. How big is your franchise? How long have you been in operation? Are you the main office, an established franchise, a startup? Where is your franchise located? How many people work there? Who runs the show? A board of directors? Investors? What does it look like? Blah, blah, blah. So I think that we should start by coming up with big picture stuff, and then we can kind of zoom in on some other things, because as we come up with specific details about the office, we're all going to have to do technology rolls to figure out how good the thing in the office is going to be.
Incredible. In my mind, I am picturing like a mom and pop shop, like a generations owned like ghostbusting company.
Yeah. I like that a lot.
Because I think that's really funny that it's just like, especially in like the early 2000s, where there's a lot of like media getting really upset about the disappearing of the mom and pop shop and like big companies coming in and like, you know, getting rid of them and outcompeting them.
Yeah, that's actually funny because I was going to offer the other side of that, which was the corporation coming into the nameless, faceless corporate entity.
Yeah. I was thinking, I think both are really interesting, but it sounds like we're all kind of like taking random jobs versus like somebody handing over like a beloved family business or franchise. I'm totally open to both, but I do kind of love the idea that ghost.com is turning, the pesky sort of like a cleaning business that is trying to, franchise all over the country. They are, opening up kind of a new field office in a new location. Maybe a corporate office bought out a mom and pop and those people get to retire. And now, we're sort of transforming the existing operation into a franchisee.
Yeah, because I like the idea that we're all sort of like, what's a job that no one wants to take? Like, big cat wrangling. Like, cool job, but it's scary and you're probably going to get hurt. And so, like, it's very hard. Like, it's pretty easy to get the job because they'll pretty much take anyone because no one applies to it. But
something we haven't done before is, like, our characters being motivated by the fact that someone will yell at them. And I think that we all need this job because we, whether we have no experience in the past, for Dick Grayson,
Ray Dixon, Eric.
I know, I was joking. For a former acrobat and for a former homemaker, or we need this job, like we have to move back to a hometown, or something happened at Sprockets R Us. I think that might be an interesting thing that we haven't messed with before because of like the ownership I feel like we've had of stuff in Campaign 2.
Claire could also be really optimistic and like really want to make meaning, and we're all like, okay, this is a job.
Like Claire's like, I left a job that I thought was really important, and like I only raised my concerns because I could see the like potential of it, and now I really want to apply that to here to now.
Now I want to make Ghost Kiss.
If those ghosts want to find love, then they can find love,
But real love, not like love we edited together.
An eternal love.
Here's my thought, okay? I think we can combine this. What if this is a franchise that bought the mom and pop shop, but our boss is the old couple who owned the place first? Like, they need to golden parachute themselves, but they have to stay on for like 2 or 3 years before they can leave.
Locally owned franchise. That makes sense to me.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
That's their retirement plan, and Claire maybe thinks that she's going to be like the next generation and like put her portrait up alongside the portraits of the mom and pop. And I think Amelia would say, listen, if you're not scamming your bosses, they're scamming you. Okay?
But what if I want to be the boss?
That's why I only take poops at work.
You know what? As long as we have different bathrooms, I'm cool with that.
It was better working with elephants.
Here's the thing I also don't forget. Okay, I think we've hit on a number of things here, which we definitely need. So we are a owned franchise that is being turned over to Ghost. I think I like Ghost.com. Are we going with Ghost.com?
Yeah, that's fine. That's great.
That's just the thing I said. So tell me if you think otherwise.
Should it be like, because this is early 2000s, should it be like ghost.net or something like that? Or should we just be ghost.com?
Ghost.net is good because we catch the ghosts.
That's true.
Oh, internet.
Oh, GhostNet. Oh, GhostNet. Yes.
Great.
GhostNet.
Yes.
Love it.
GhostNet is good. Who runs the show? It's a board of directors from the franchise of GhostNet.
Okay, quick point of reference. GhostNet is the name given by researchers at the Information Warfare Monitor to a large-scale cyber spying operation discovered in March 2009. Do you want to be ghost.net?
Yes, ghost.net.
Ghost.net.
Can you tell me more about this?
Yeah, what?
Apparently a hacking operation based in China infiltrated high-value political, economic, and media locations in 103 countries, including computer systems, embassies, government offices, and the Dalai Lama's Tibetan exile centers.
What?
Well, that's wild. I like the idea that when it's like no one's quite sure how to say it, and like because when we write it out in like early 2000s fashion, it's like ghosts, and then there's like an actual dot in like parentheses or something, like illustrated net. So it's like some people call it GhostNet, some people call it ghost.net. The website is literally ghost.net, but is that just like the end of it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes, it's like if the Ghostbusters no ghosts symbol was the dot was the period in ghost.net.
Exactly.
So no one knows if it's aesthetic or not. Yeah.
That's very good and very
I
early
love it.
2000s. We also don't have to include that thing I said. I don't think it's like a huge, it's not like, the Pentagon Papers, but make me laugh.
That's
I
fine.
want to call our company the Pentagon Papers.
I want to call our company Edward Snowden. Is that okay?
Enron. Valdez oil spill.
Oh my God. Okay, well, here's a good question. Let's figure out the setting now. I think that this might be interesting that we can be in a small city, because again, this is like if Ghost.net is expanding, I feel like maybe we're franchise number 5. I'm thinking about like when you look at a restaurant website and it's like, let's say that they started in New York, right? It's like, oh, we have one in Queens, we have one in Brooklyn, and in Long Beach and Miami. And I feel like that's what 4 and 5 usually are.
Can I pitch you the like more fast food experimenty type where it's like, yeah, our corporate, we're like New York, Brooklyn, whatever, and then like it's like Akron, Ohio, as like
Sure.
a test market.
Oh, Brandon, can we fucking be a not real small city in the Midwest, please?
Yeah.
Springfield, Ohio.
Is that real? Is that a real one?
Well, the Simpsons town was Springfield, but there's like 20 Springfields in the
Right.
U.S. They just never talked about the state. So we can just be Springfield, Midwest.
They also famously, when the Simpsons movie came out, they had a competition to see which Springfield in the country they would like premiere the movie at.
Oh, I didn't know. That's fun.
Yeah.
Very cute.
We can be Springfield. I just wanted to be like one of those scary places that's like Noun City. Like
Yeah.
Corn City or Maze City or like or you know what I'm talking about?
To
got
be
it.
fair, we did do that before.
Oh shit, we did do that. Never mind. Yeah.
Blightville.
Oh, Blightville.
Blightville.
Oh, that's interesting. I like that.
Keeping in mind, also, Blyton is kind of fun.
Blyton, also good.
Is extremely good.
I like that a lot.
Blighton on Thames.
Eric, that's our sister city in England.
Oh, sorry, that's from the first game.
This
I'm
is
sorry.
Blyton, Illinois.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. No, I like Blyton. I think Blyton's great.
I love it.
I mean, it's got to be Ohio, though, right?
Yeah.
Blyton, Ohio. That just sounds right.
I'm cool with Ohio.
Or like Iowa.
Blyton, Ohio. Not
Blyton.
the one with all the river fires. That one's Cleveland.
That's Cleveland.
They could still be river fires. It's just from ghosts.
Our river is full of ghosts.
From ghosts. Are we the only? This is interesting. Are we the only ghost hunting franchise in the area? Are there competitors?
No, again, I think it was a mom and pop that was absorbed by the competitors. So if there were competitors, it was because they were run out of town.
Got it. The competitors are our bosses inside the house. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I think that's great. I'm going to roll. I'm going to roll because I forgot because I'm looking at the stuff here. It says that you should roll technology whenever you mention a detail like equipment, staff, or a posh office. And I am rolling for staff because I think I'm rolling for our bosses.
Okay.
Cool.
So I have 4 technology. So the way that you do this is that everyone, whenever you give an idea, you have to roll for technology so that we spread the wealth, right? So I'm going to do this one. I'm going to do this one for our staff. Hell yeah. All right. I got a 6.
Yeah.
They're amazing. I think that they're very nice and grandparently, but they are not helpful.
Oh, yeah.
Like they will sit there and they don't want to move because they're obstinate and they are getting bought out and they're just riding this out. They're probably playing bingo and watching daytime TV the entire time, which is fine because then maybe something on Maury will help us with our case. But I think they're very nice and they like all of us equally, and they dote on us quite a lot and they make our lunches.
That's very sweet.
Cute.
Yeah.
Like they just bag lunch every day for us. That's adorable.
incredible.
I love that.
Yeah. So my highest one on that was 6. I got a 3, a 4, 4, and a 6. But remember, we're taking the highest, so I got a 6.
I think Julia should roll for the office itself since it used to be the mom and pop.
Yeah, we can do that as well for like the building itself.
Yeah.
So Julia, you're using Clur's technology dice. How many are you rolling?
That means I roll 2.
Wonderful.
All right. Ooh, that's... So remind me, I take the higher of the 2?
You take the
or-
higher, yeah.
Well, I rolled a 6.
Yay!
I rolled
It's
a 5 and a
amazing.
6, by the way.
Hell yeah! Why is it amazing, Julia?
Like, it is historic in the way where it's very well preserved, but not terrible and like drafty, and the plumbing doesn't work, you know?
Nice.
So it feels very like small town homey vibe, but at the same time, it's been updated and well maintained. Because again, these people like really cared about their business as a mom and pop shop.
Radiant floors must be nice.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's keep going into that. Let's talk about what our franchise looks like. What amenities does it feature? So it's a nice old building, but what else we got?
I would love to roll for our company vehicle. I really love the idea of like a souped up soccer mom minivan, and I'd love to roll and see what the vehicle is like.
Yeah, sure.
All right, my highest is a 4. So that's fair. Mostly successful with humorous or bad effect too.
Bless. That's all you want from a vehicle, yeah?
Yeah.
You want good with humorous effect.
Can I float a suggestion to you?
Oh yeah.
It is absolutely just a Yukon.
Yeah. Yeah. Like a Yukon, a slightly nicer than average minivan style thing. But I think maybe the humorous flaw is that it always smells like a different like child's snack food. And so sometimes it smells like Go-Gurt, sometimes it smells like Fruit Roll-Ups, sometimes it smells like Dunkaroos,
Yeah.
and that's not always great.
Does it still does after now that your kids are grown and gone? Or is it haunted by the ghosts of snacks past?
If I tell you the number of times I find fucking Gushers under my seats, my boys are a senior, a junior, and a sophomore in college.
Why are they eating so many Gushers?
How are the Gushers still in there?
You can tell that none of us have had kids because we think that the snacks go away once the kids grow up. That doesn't happen.
They're standing there from Daytona Beach in 1997. Runs great, not necessarily a souped up ride.
Slightly sticky everywhere.
Sticky and smells. So I hope we don't deal with a werewolf or someone who can smell. That might be bad. Yeah. Anyone else with amenities or maybe some gear we have access to? We did say ghostbustery, but I wonder if there's something specific.
I mean, it is 2002, so I am imagining sort of like a laser tag pack, you know?
Sure.
Yes, 100%.
That like maybe it is laser based and, you know, it's the standardized ghost hunting gear that comes down from corporate.
Oh, true.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
like that. Yeah.
I don't know what it does exactly, though.
It can just be like, maybe it zaps and holds. Like you wanted to hold it and then you got to trap it with like a different thing.
Sure.
Because the laser, I'm really getting into the laser tag thing. So it's like you got to hold the thing and then you got to put a trap under it.
Yeah, like a tractor beam, and then the trap is a separate entity. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Cool,
I like
dig
it.
Yeah. Brampton, will you roll technology for the stuff that corporate gave us?
Sure, I have 1.
That's what happens, baby.
4, not bad.
Good. So it's good, but it has a negative humorous effect.
I think it makes a funny noise when you shoot it.
It's like
Yeah.
All right, let's all go around. Let's all go around and make a suggestion for the funny noise.
Okay, mine is Snorp.
Mine is
Dang, that's what I was gonna do. Shit. Okay, I was gonna do a high pitch one. It goes ooga chaka, ooga chaka, ooga, ooga,
and it just
ooga
gets
chaka.
stuck in our head, you know?
I can't stop this feeling.
And then we get sued.
That's fair.
So is Julius, right?
Either Julia or Amanda's. I think high pitched is where it's at. Yeah.
I just want to make Julia do that.
I like Julia's ululating. How do you say that word? You know?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I like Julia's noise the best, personally.
People can't see me, but it's a finger in front of my mouth and it wiggles.
Like an inchworm.
It's
yeah.
like it's a tiny turkey.
Yeah.
A tiny
Yeah.
turkey. That's
Like a
100%
goblet,
what it
yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Exactly. Lethal turkey. I was going to suggest, Brandon, that they're obnoxiously branded with Ghost.net, like neon green or whatever our color is, or
Yeah.
neon yellow.
Well, that's a given. Yeah.
Okay.
Like the GoDaddy signage
Yes.
for so long. It was on everything. Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Absolutely.
Man, GoDaddy. That was a thing, huh?
Yeah. I would love to make a suggestion. And anyone can roll on this because I don't even know if this is technology necessarily, but I like the idea that before corporate came in, the main thing that helped out the former mom and pop shop was that they had like an ancient artifact that helped them with stuff that like has like a piece of a god in it.
Eric, I think you have to roll on that.
I know, but like I don't know if it's technology necessarily. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if that's a 4. If I should be rolling 4 dice for that.
hold on. I'm trying to like suss out what I think this should be. And I feel like it's like an old rune stone, like one of those big ones that you would find in like Ireland in the middle of the moors or something like that.
Yeah, it's the Rosetta. It's a Rosetta Stone. It's somewhere in between a Rosetta Stone and Olmec from Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Yes. Yeah.
Like he's there and they can tell whatever who's in the rune stone can tell you stuff. And is fine about it.
Yeah.
Because
it's definitely like a fey creature that was trapped in a stone and now he like gives you advice.
Yeah. I don't know if it's like a fairy or it's omniscient. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Is it just a sprite who's just as lost as you are, or this is like omniscient, a piece of an omniscient thing?
Oh, I'm getting real like mirror on the wall vibes. That makes sense?
What if you rigged up like a terminal where the spirit can type to us?
Oh, it's Ghostwriter. Fuck yeah, dude.
I was literally about to say that, Amanda.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Hell yeah. Okay. Then I'm gonna roll 4 to see how it do. All right. Hey, I only rolled a 4 with my 4 dice.
Not bad.
So another fair. It's mostly successful, but has a humorous or bad effect as well.
Wait, hold on. Can I suggest something very quickly?
Please.
I like the idea that we all have like work issued sidekicks or like beepers or whatever, and like every once in a while he'll just like the like spirit will just like message us being like, hey, I just wanted to chat. Like, you have information for me about the case? Like, no, how was your weekend?
All right, so typos and lonely.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's very
It's
funny.
very needy.
It's very needy. It's
like
very
emotionally needy.
Eric, what is this pal's name?
Oh man, we're gonna have to figure that out. I think that's up to whoever. This is a treat for any GM. Which of us is going to GM is gets to name and inform this NPC.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also love that we have sidekicks, Julia. We definitely need to have sidekicks.
Oh, 100%.
Hell yeah.
All of you who don't know what that is, go look it up. It was the pinnacle of technology. I wish I had one right now. I would trade in all iPhones I've ever had and being able to access the internet if I could have a sidekick keyboard under my big clubby thumbs.
That is making me think about one of these questions is around the amenities that our franchise has. And I wonder if we do have some kind of like database or repository of knowledge that the mom and pop owners have assembled over the years. Anyone have ideas around that?
Yeah, I like that. Can it not be on a computer? Do we have to use like a Dewey Decimal System filing cabinet to figure it out?
I was about to suggest, I think that's Claire's mission to digitize this archive.
Ooh.
Whenever Claire's not on screen, she's scanning documents.
You know how in like general stores they had big like feed containers where you could get feed for animals or like flour or whatever? I'm imagining they're probably like 14 by 14 inch, just like big old drawers that like fold diagonally outward. I'm picturing that there is like a huge cabinet of them across one whole wall, and it's labeled things like green, sticky, gross, smelly. And Claire walks in like, I can't cross-reference any of this.
Can we maybe, I don't know, like join together sticky and oozy? Is that okay? Like,
and then like knitting needles clacking, the grandma's like, they're different, you'll learn.
They seem like they're the same.
Now when you're getting out of your wool coat. All right, let me roll then for how good this database is.
I feel like we've already.
I just got a 4, so I think we described exactly what
that's
it is.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
I think we already kind of like
extensive,
gave ourselves
badly
some,
organized.
Yeah.
Cool. I think that we have a lot of details. I like this. If anyone else wants to add any before we move on.
Did we want to do the one about the specialty, or do we want to just sort of have a overarching, we do everything?
I mean, I think our specialty is ghost because our company is called ghost.net, but it's not like we can't handle vampires, demons, or cryptozoology.
Right. That's our slogan.
Yeah. I figured that we weren't specialized because there was only one in the city. So that's why that's why I didn't think that. Yeah.
I think it's worth clarifying though that we can be like an all-purpose, solution, even if corporate wants to push us a little more toward ghosts.
Yeah, corporate has a mandate to do ghosts only, and we do everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of fun. I actually like that. That's very
Yeah, they
funny.
really want us to start charging extra for anything that isn't ghosts as like a specialty, but we're just like, old man McHiggins, he's had demons in his barn for years, and he's a lifelong client.
Yeah, corporate's like, well, if it's not a ghost, we have to like buy garlic or like Bibles. Like, there's extra things that we have to do, and so I need you to pay for 400% of that.
There's a goo surcharge. There's an embalming surcharge.
Don't even get me started on the extra for possession.
All right, so we're going to do the final mechanical thing, which is franchise dice, which it means like the company can give you dice as well. Ordinarily, you start out with like 5 to 10 dice, but I think that since this is so basic, we start with 5 dice because it's like we're getting taken over with new management. And we can assign that franchise dice to different cards. We have a library card, a gym card, and a credit card, which can give us bonuses to academics, athletics, and technology roles.
Oh, fun.
That's
Nice.
cool.
Yeah. So does anyone want to assign this to various places? Like, what do you think that we have here that might help us out?
Well, I think at least one or two in technology would be really helpful. And we may need to access corporate if there is like a kind of problem that we haven't come across before, but then maybe we don't because they'll know that we're doing things that aren't just ghosts.
You're like, so there's this ghost who's been sucking people's blood. How do you... Is that okay? Can we use the corporate card?
I think that's pretty good.
Please?
Do you want to come to Blighton and see it for yourself? You can.
Ugh, no, I gotta take 2 flights and a puddle jumper just to get there.
And a bus.
I gotta take a shuttle just to get to flight. I'm trying to see if you don't use it, you lose it if you put it on cards, but I don't think so.
Yeah, they do say that card dice are non-transferable. Once you place them, you can't switch them. But
Okay, wonderful. So if you don't use it, you don't lose it. So I think that's fine.
Okay,
But
so we'll just hold on to them.
yeah.
we can do this if we end up playing too.
Yeah. But yeah, let's discuss this if we end up playing this one. But there will be cards that we can touch on. And we also can give ourselves job titles, but it seems like we're all just plebes working under management, working under a shadowy board of directors who is the real CEO of Ghost.net.
Well,
What is
what's
our
the,
job title, though?
I was going to say, what's the kitschy, like, early 2000s entry-level
Yeah.
job title for this corporation?
Like Ghost Associate or something.
Ghost
Ghost
Associate.
Associate is so funny. Yes. I was also going to say Containment Associate is like a very formal job title.
Specialist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Containment specialist is good.
I like
What?
that.
Ghost Blaster.
Also
No,
good,
Brandon.
Brandon.
VP of blasting is something you have to work your way up to.
That's at the home office.
It's a corporate
Brandon.
level, a whole different salary cap. Yeah,
The Bennies, though. The Bennies.
Pennies are good. Yeah,
I'm into containment specialist.
let's do
yeah.
containment specialist. We're all that. We can also have like the things we have to do around the office. Like if Amelia is the wheelman, we can all have our various things that we do.
Nice.
But
that's fun.
they can be informal unless we all want to fight over. They make a big deal about fighting over who gets to be CEO in this. But I think that if we're working under a corporate structure, then we don't have that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, I think that's it. I think we got everything.
Woo.
Let's recap our characters and franchise and see if this one bears out, if the will of the people want us to continue.
Amelia Ashes is a former soccer mom, new empty nester. My boys are at Yale, Princeton, and Brown. Thank you for asking. And my talent is mom's spidey senses. If you make a sippy cup spill, if you try to sneak vodka out of my house, or if you try to bring a girl into the basement and I'm there, I'm going to know.
Oh, that's so funny. Claire McLeod is a former production assistant for The Bachelor, the first season of The Bachelor, I should say. And I used to live in LA, but now I've moved home and gotten a job with my Aunt Amelia Ashes.
Love you, Claire.
Love you, Auntie.
Hate your dad.
Love you, Claire. Hate your dad.
Yeah, that's fine.
Pretty good.
He's kind of a dick. It's all right.
What's up, cats and kittens? I'm Ben Reeves,
Jesus Christ.
aka Beeves. That's what everyone calls me. It's a combination of Ben and Reeves. I used to work at Sprockets, our Sproings, but they kicked me out for living out loud too much, living too loud. And, I have a lot of experience in retail, so I'm ready for anything.
Hey, Beeves, are you a rapper, would you say?
Liz, I got to put out my first mixtape, but I'm more of a DJ. I'll show you my Fruity Loops after this.
That makes a lot of sense.
Hello, I'm Gray Dixon. I'm a former circus performer. I was an acrobat before I lost my job because of the whole elephant scandal,
Gosh.
Wasn't involved, but I do miss them. And yeah, I lived in LA for a second, but now I've moved to this it's called Bright Townsville.
No, this is Blyton. We're the capital of spooky water creatures in Ohio.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
Also, just don't buy the beef. It's just a bad idea.
We're the mad cow disease capital of Ohio.
Yeah, they took that off the signs, but we still know.
Yeah, we haven't been able to shake that legacy.
But I'm excited to bring my optimism and acrobatic abilities to the team. Thanks for hiring me.
We are a locally owned franchise, a mom and pop that was bought out by Ghost.net. It's up for debate whether you pronounced the dot, where the former owners, who are sweet, kind of doting grandparents, still oversee things, but don't have a lot of involvement in our day-to-day, except making us a nutritious and delicious lunch.
There's always apple slices. It's kind of great.
We are franchise number 5. We were the competitors in this area to the invaders of Ghost.net, but they bought us out instead. We have great staff of the former owners who are still involved. Our building is amazing. It's historic and yet updated, well preserved. Our vehicle could be better. It's fine. It runs well enough, but smells of a random snack every time. And occasionally just like a lacrosse stick, a ball, a hairpin will just fall out or stick you in the butt when you are sitting down in the bench seats. And our equipment includes laser tools to trap ghosts, but make a funny noise like a tiny turkey. Thank you. We do have access to a local spirit who we can communicate with, which is great, but does make a lot of typos in his beeps and is really lonely. We also have a catalog of knowledge from previous missions, but it is a paper system that is badly organized in giant kind of feed containers in this former general store.
In feed containers?
Yeah. And we are all-purpose ghost-solving solutions for the people of Blyton, but unfortunately corporate does want us to move more toward the specialized and higher earning ghost extermination specifically.
I'm thinking about the first time that we hear a radio ad for Ghost.net on like the local morning show. It's at like 5:30.
Yep.
Hi, I'm Beeves, and if you need ghosts out of your house, us.
Ooh.
All right, support your local businesses. This is Goaty and the French.
Oh,
Great.
Oh, oui, oui.
Oh, oui, oui. We've really been including a lot of weird French accents in our work lately, and I appreciate and love that.
Hey, Julia, we all gotta stretch. We all gotta grow.
Yeah.
Okay, so next week we are doing an after party talking about all 3 settings and characters and games that we are playing, and we are going to have a poll up when that episode comes out next Tuesday for y'all to vote on which one shot we are going to do. Is it going to be tiny Victorian children trying to write books in the modified version of Battle of the Brontes that I meshed with Clear Eyes Full Hearts? Is it going to be the Coen Brothers movie Out on the Ice when we play Fiasco? A lot of penguin stuff.
A lot of penguin drama.
There's a lot of penguin drama. Or is it going to be Inspectres with Ghost.net and the lovable Midwesterners that we have here? It's up for you to decide next Tuesday.
Ooh.
Hey, here, it's Scoot McGarry signing off. I don't have anything else to say. I'll see you next week. Same bat time. I miss my father and son.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Are we still rolling? Oh, the red light means it's still on. I mean, support your troops.